and welcome to this lesson, which is all about technique and, well, specifically technique in addressing the fretboard. I don't know why they call it addressing the fretboard, but there you go. Fundamentally, I work to a system, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, I think I might have just made it up. I call it a 4-finger framework, the 3 Fs. And it's really simple. Basically your hands, your left hand fingers, should be one over each fret. And that kind of makes sense if you think about it. Now the fingers should be just hovering above. You probably can't see it from there. The close-up camera will probably be picking it up better, but the fingers are basically just hovering over. When I play a note on a fret, the note is played right up to the fret wire. That gives you the best chance of getting the best, clearest sound. Okay? A lot of people play it back here, that's not a good idea. You want to get it right up to that fret wire, sorry. Now the other thing that is important to note is that when I play a note, the next note I play, I keep the preceding finger down. And my opinion is that it aids a legato, that's a smooth technique. So it doesn't matter what order these notes come in, by the way. It could be 2 to 4. I would still keep 2 down, 1 to 3, I've got 1 down, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all down, and as soon as I activate the next string, either above or below, that's when the fingers come off. Now it's important when you're doing this not to fly the fingers off. You know, a lot of people, when I'm teaching them guitar, you know, their fingers are way out here, and you know, I remember from school, speed equals distance over time, right? So the further you're away from the fretboard, you get this sort of flapping effect. So, and also you heard that there, you know, unless you're a slapper, you want those fingers nice and close into the board. And I would, if you're new to this and you're trying to make your technique better, I would suggest that you play slowly. You could make up little exercises, you know, like 1, 3, 2, 4. Sort of kind of like Jaws, that. Anyway, work on it at the bottom, work on it at the top. Because, you know, different strings have different widths and just a different feel. Different areas of the board, way up there, way down there. You could make up little exercises just to get used to it. I'm going to go diagonally here, I'm just making this up right now. This is creativity, I'm making this up right now. Here I'm going to play from here, 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 here. I should really go there, shouldn't I? I'll just do the first 4 strings diagonally and just try to get a nice activation of the string. Now the final thing about addressing the fretboard and the 4-finger framework and all the rest of it is I try to balance out the movement. So if I'm going up, now I'm not saying I do this every time, this is a generalization, something that you can look at in your own playing, but if I'm moving up the fretboard and I need a note that's 1 fret beyond where I want to go, I will generally stretch for it. So I'm doing this, I want this note, I stretch for it and then bring it in. Okay, as opposed to going like that. So that kind of balances it out, and to totally balance it out, if this note, which is also this note, although the timbre relate sounds slightly different, doesn't it? But if I'm coming down, I will stretch the pinky and then bring it in. This means that I'm always in the same position on the fretboard. As mentioned in other videos, my second finger's over fret 6, so I'm in position 5, and if you watch me playing this, regardless of what I do, I'm always in position 5. Okay, so that really concludes everything I wanted to tell you about it. Just remember the basics. 4-finger framework. Keep the fingers close to the board. The further away, the more time it will take to play things. That's never good. Try and play right up to the fret wire, and also make sure that you stretch, get that balanced approach. That's a chromatic scale, and there's going to be a lesson complete on that, but okay. And I think if you follow these, it really will help set a really good foundation for your guitar playing. If you're already a player and you've been playing for some time, I've found that it's difficult for people to unwind or unravel the things the habits, I guess, that they've learned over a lifetime. So you know, you don't have my sympathy, but I understand that it will be difficult to retrain yourself, because you basically have to go back and undo what you can do, and you can't do much, you know, and then move forward. But if you've got the commitment and the time and the patience, if you are currently a player who's already, you know, done a lot of work, but you find you've sort of hit a brick wall, it may be that your actual fundamental technique is holding you back, and that's why it's so important to get these basics, as they're called, but they're not really basics, these foundations, spot on. Okay, I'll hopefully see you in another video. Leave feedback, it'd be great to use your points. Thanks.